Exactly.
I would get a really good wind down the left. Your way.
Yeah.
Great. One of the grades. Yeah, I know, I saw that.
This weekend. Yeah. He just goes.
I never get by this one. That's 6 lanes to run.
I mean, I don't know, but I would say that's what.
So that's how much time you get on 6 lanes to run.
They do have a concession.
So I can cut across their lane, below and after and everything else. It takes me an hour and a quarter to walk. Well, they do. So I know.
That's when I just look at.
They go well after I saw that. We had people driving by.
He was talking a little bit, I think, about very interested in the maintenance side of things. More so than where's my trust. We all kind of surprised. With the grower structure and stuff. It's just so there's a dashboard. They work into the Oh, yeah, it's going to. Yeah, the haircut too. It was probably the guy the entire team. I hope. So it's my thinking. We just gotta do all the necessary things. Yeah, they're okay.
She is.
I'd call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety for the city of Jasper, Indiana. Please have roll call.
Mayor Dean Bonnerheim,
Present.
Board Member Tim Bell,
Present.
Board Member Nancy Eckerly,
Here.
Police Chief Chad Dick,
Here.
Street Commissioner Jeff Tyson,
Here.
City Engineer Chad Herm,
Here.
Personnel Safety Loss Control Director Cale Canice,
Here.
Fire Chief Code Enforcement Officer Kenny Hoaxang,
Present.
Director of Community Development and Planning Josh Gunselman,
Here.
Park and Recreation Director Tom Warman,
Here.
City Attorney Renee Faber, here. Clerk Treasurer Kirsten Canice. I thought I skipped over Josh for a second, sorry. No, I didn't. In order to have a quorum, a majority of the board members must be present. All board members are present, which is a majority. Therefore, there is a quorum for this meeting.
Thank you, but all that are able to please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. That's for November 12th. Correction. Not an entertaining motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from November 12th that they were presented.
I have a motion from Nancy, second from Tim. All in favor, so by saying aye.
Aye.
First up on the agenda is Michael.
We're just getting our.
Got it, all right. We're getting a new awning installed on our building. And
Would you turn the mic on? Yeah, thank you.
there. We're getting a new awning installed on our building, and we're gonna need to block the parking spots in front of our building just so you can get the truck in to lift it up on there. So looks like probably he wants to do it on a Saturday if he can. He's talking one day, but it depends on the weather. It could be during the week if that doesn't work for him. So but, the awning isn't done yet. We kind of got to go by weather right down this year. So
And the only business that's gonna interfere with is yours.
pretty well, and the bike shop a little bit on Saturday, but that'd be the worst.
They'll still have access.
Yes, they'll still have access.
And you won't be blocking the street.
Not the street, just the parking spots all at once. Yeah.
Mayor will make a motion for Hoosier Business Machines to block the parking spaces in front of their business and perhaps of the other ones between 8th and 9th. I guess
Yes.
that would be
Yes.
on that side of the street on a given Saturday sometime into the near future.
Yeah. We're hoping it's a Saturday. It could be during the week if that doesn't work with weather, but we don't have that much. We have a lot for our customers they can park in, so it should be okay.
We're always in favor of businesses making improvements, and that's nice.
Okay.
I will
Thank you.
second. I have a motion from Nancy, a second from Tim. Any further discussion on this? All in favor, so by saying aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
Mary Warren.
Morning.
Morning, Mary.
Good morning. I'm here to talk about the Du Bois County Pride Festival. We had another successful 2025. I do have copies if anybody wants a recap of it. Yes? No?
Yeah, I've got it, yeah.
Would you like one?
I can take it, yeah.
Okay.
I'll take one too, Mayor.
Sure.
She went to the trouble of printing them.
No, I always like to be prepared there. Yeah. So 2025 was our 6th annual Pride Festival. It was the 3rd year we hosted down at the Dave Beeler Plaza. You can see we had 1,500 plus attendees, over 40 vendors. We changed the time again this last year and it was extremely successful. It was from 11 to 4 and it was on a Saturday. It was on a very, very, very hot Saturday again, which is why one of the main reasons we want to talk about moving it to the fall. So what I'm here today to ask is, and to share why we would move it to October. We're looking at the date of October 17th, 2026 in the same location. The second page, it has some of the statistics and facts around why October. Our number one reason is weather. It has just been really miserable. We had a vendor get sick this year. We've had really from a safety standpoint and for all of us in the community, that's the number one thing we hear and feedback is it's hot, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. I get it. It hurts my heart to move it outside of June, which is traditionally Pride Celebration Month. But October is LGBTQ History Month. And if you look at the map, there are 40 Pride festivals in the state of Indiana that are shown on this map. There are actually about 50 festivals that occur in the state that were added after, 10 more after this. There are about, I think it's, numbers here, 55% of them, 23 of them happen in June and the rest happen in other months of the year. So we're not the only ones. There are a couple other that are happening in October. There are 3 that happened in October in 2025, 8 in September. So it would not be completely unheard of to move it to October. There's fewer conflicts. We always have conflicted with the Celestine Street Fest. We always have the same weekend there, of course, with some vacations and all the stuff and all the other Pride festivals as well. And then community feedback. We did ask the community what they wanted because I was very nervous about moving it. And we did a survey on Facebook and we had over 200 responses. And over 80% were favorable or neutral to moving it to October. So we asked and they clearly said, yes, please move it to October. So that's why we've decided to try it. I think it will be just as successful. The weather will be cooler, hopefully. We'll have to deal with rain and maybe even some colder temperatures, but that's the main reason. So we would repeat very much the same as what we've done the last few years. It'll be the 4th year or 7th annual Pride Festival at Dave Beeler Plaza. I proposed the time of 11 to 4 again. That seemed to work really well for us. Of course, we don't have the agenda fully written yet because it's so far out, but we do need to start advertising our festival, which is why I'm here so early to ask. We really in book entertainment. Actually, our band yesterday asked, and we have them reserved for that day as of now. So that's the ask.
And have you checked with Park and Rec to see if that's?
Yes, I have it penciled in with Park and Rec. As a matter of fact, I wanted to do October the 10th, which is the week before, and they told me that one of the gazebos was reserved for that day. So we moved it out to the following weekend. October the 17th.
I think moving the date is irrelevant to the success of your event, really. You have everything lined up. You'll pretty well repeat what you've done. You just pick it up and move it to a different.
Yep.
The only, Mary and I had this conversation with the meeting, the only thing that I want to highlight was that we also started this year with the Veterans Oktoberfest. They would be utilizing similar or contingent properties at the same time. If they keep the same day, if they go the same day. We have not received a request for that. But then they were also, Pride was also invited to attend and be a part of that. So
yeah, we had a table there this year.
Just a much larger festival scene in October with that. I want to bring that up because we hadn't heard back. We tried to reach out to Booth this morning.
And they had several locations going on during the.
They had the River Center, the Cultural Center. So,
any idea what they're?
I think this is a great move for your event. Talk to agree, I'm one of those that say it was too hot.
Oh, God. It's awful. It's a great day, but it is exhausting.
So I'm okay, I'm good with making this move. I'm gonna say pending the coordination. of
Yeah.
the events.
And I'm happy to, I know you've reached out, but I'm happy to reach out and coordinate with them as well.
So I'd make a motion that we approve Boys County Pride Fest, Saturday, October 17th. Set up and tear down from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Actually from 11 to 4. Jasper Walk, Dave Field Plaza.
I'll second that motion.
I have a second from Nancy. Any further discussion on this?
Thank you.
Saying aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
Police chief. Good morning.
Thank you for accepting me. I wasn't on the agenda. As things often go, they're rapidly changing and evolving. So anyway, come here this morning to request approval to hire and open the process for the chief telecommunicators position. This is a budgeted position, been in long discussions with the mayor and with Kale about this. If you recall, earlier this year, this position, I demoted the person that was there. The person subsequently left, and it was my decision to not immediately fill that position, but to have Lieutenant Dave Berger kind of oversee the day-to-day management of the facility, of the communications facility. He's done a great job with that, along with the help of the telecommunicators. I think they've learned a lot of what else goes into running a real-time intelligence and communications center. But I do believe it's time to fill this position. The downside to having Lieutenant Berger do this is that he is not a dispatcher. And so when there is a need for someone to be in that dispatch center to dispatch, he cannot fulfill that role because he's not a dispatcher. The chief telecommunicator, or as I'm referring to it as a supervisor, is going to be much like our road sergeants. It's going to be a working supervisor that will work in the center and along with doing some administrative duties like scheduling, doing call assessments that are required by the 911 board, and some other administrative items that go along with it. So anyway, and then they will report to Lieutenant Berger. So he'll still be involved in the process and still kind of being that next line of supervision for the communication center. That's who that person will report to. So this will help bring our staffing up in the communication center. Anyway, so I'm just asking permission to start that process to fill the chief telecommunications position.
Chief, I was under the impression that this was not an additional role, but it was more of a promotion within that team.
That is correct. Yes. It's, like I said, it's all budgeted.
We have budgeted that it's not another individual that is that leadership role.
That is correct.
I think it's time. I think it makes sense. I make a motion that we move forward with our chief telecommunications role, supervisors. I will second. I have a second from Tim. Further discussion. I appreciate the dialogue between you, personnel, and Director's office. Just double check and make sure everything's good. Hearing nothing else. All in favor, by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Our chief.
First off, we'll read the code enforcement report. And the first one on there is Kent Sites at 1344 West Andrew Lane. That's a declared nuisance that has been taken care of. Just an accumulation of property there. So, and then David Byrne at 1151 Justin Street, and he did complete that on Saturday. So that's been taken care of. And then Anthony and Darla Bush. It's a weed letter. It's a second violation. They did not complete that, so the street department, I think it was their Thursday or Friday of last week, and that's completed now. Still showing open because it goes to the clerk treasurer's office for the billing and things like that, so.
It shows the due date is 11/30.
Yeah, that's incorrect because,
Well, that's the invoice date. Yeah, that's the invoice. That's what the invoice is due and it's due.
Okay.
And you said the street department took care of this property.
This is the backyard.
yes,
one.
yeah. It's a repeat from earlier this year and from last year and probably the year before. And so it's down there near the football field, so.
So we can expect payment by 11:30.
That's when the invoice is due. They're gonna pay it. And we can do the late.
And then the other sheets, the ongoing ones that we meet with monthly to go through this report and talk about each of those and update all those. And so, and we've done that again yesterday, so.
So many on that list, or maybe most on that list, are on the list because we're waiting for payment or we're filing collections in court, those kinds of issues.
And then the field report, I left those on my desk, but you'll have those later this morning yet, so I'll put them in your mailbox, so. Then the next item I have is, at the last meeting, we opened up the quotes for the flooring project at Station 3. We had a price from Jasper Equipment and also from Garage Experts out of Evansville. They had the low quote, so we did move forward with that, $6,765.75. I know the legal department is sending out a contract for that, and they are scheduled to be there January. The week of January 6th to the 9th, they'll be there to take care of that project. So we'll have that down here shortly.
So due to having that contract, then will encumber those funds.
That's correct.
for next year.
Yep. As soon as that's complete. Next item, I have a donation that came in. There's a family that moved here to Jasper, and he was a 30-year firefighter up north, and they had been giving their annual giving to their local fire departments, and so now they're going to move that to Jasper, and they moved on the west side of Jasper. So they stopped in a couple weeks ago, and they gave us a donation of $1,000 for the fire department. So.
That's great.
Restricted funds.
It's considered the restriction, donation to the city of Jasper. Restriction is the use to fire department. Yeah, at their discretion.
Yep.
It's very generous.
Yes, it is. It's very nice of them. So really nice people. So we sat and talked for about 30 minutes that day when they came in. So they're excited to be in Jasper, close to their daughter's house. And so anyhow, I do have one more item that's not on the list. The roof at the Holy Family Fire Station.
Do we need
Yeah,
to take a motion?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Accept that
Yep.
donation.
The restriction.
So I'll make a motion, we approve the donation to the fire department, $11,000. With the restrictions attached.
I'll second that motion.
Yeah, second, Nancy. Further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, last thing I have is not on the list. We were told that the roof at the fire station 2 would be completed yesterday, and they were working there. So I assume that project is complete. So they felt they would get done in time yesterday. So that project's complete. So
Are
it's
you
a good
gonna
thing.
check with them to make sure they finished?
Oh, yeah, I will today, yeah, verify, but they were there working yesterday. he indicated they would be able to finish up during the day yesterday, so. We're glad to have that one done.
Yeah.
And taken care of, so that's all I have today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See?
Good morning, board.
Morning.
Coming to you this morning, I hate to say this, but when things start to age out, you gotta sometimes get them fixed and replaced. So that's why I'm coming here this morning. First one I have is the fire protection system for City Hall. We knew this system was aging. However, with weather, along with some of the stuff at the park department, we took an electrical surge, which took out, or I shouldn't say took out, but is in essence limiting our fire alarm panel throughout City Hall. So working with Astro Security, they found that some of our detectors were not responding to the fire board and to get the parts and everything like that. Some parts are obsolete, others are very scarce, and trying to find those. And so working with Doug Fisher and Astro, and also Kurt Mezier with City Hall Maintenance here, we found that it would be probably in the best interest to replace the fire panel, which was for a total of $13,345. In discussion with that, we have duct detectors all over City Hall, and the discussion was, do we replace all those with the new system, or do we just let it be and we utilize the smoke detectors that are periodically placed throughout the building to identify if we have a fire or not? And working with insurance and having discussions internally from a safety standpoint, loss control standpoint, we thought it'd be beneficial for City Hall to have new duct detectors installed. For example, we had a couple motors burn up in the chambers here, and we would be able to pinpoint it was on this side of the room or this side of the room. It would help the fire department respond a little quicker. So in having those conversations and having that experience with it, we thought it would be in the best interest for us to move forward with that as well. And that was for a total of $12,975. So if we would replace all the parts that we were wanting, it would be a total of $26,320.
That would all be with Astro Security.
Correct.
Yeah, just for the record, we did not get bids because we have decided to go with Astro for security throughout the city. So that is our single source provider for our security systems.
And what is the source of the funds?
We'll use the City Hall maintenance, maintenance and repair funds.
I'll go ahead and make the motion, at the suggestion of City Hall personnel and Astro Security to replace the fire pools and smoke detectors at a cost of $13,345. And then also to replace the 39 duct detectors for a cost of $12,975 for a total of $26,320.
I'll second. I have a motion from Nancy and a second from Tim. Any further discussion on this?
I guess I'll add to that, having Astro Security as a single source provider for that project.
Further discussion, all in favor, simply saying aye.
Aye.
All right, and then the second thing I have is our heat pumps in our maintenance room in the basement. When the street department was deciding to fight some ice and stuff in the fire department with the pile up on 231, we found that we were having heat pump issues in our basement. So we the maintenance program is when heat pump number 1 fails, we turn on number 2 to keep that going. Well, found out heat pump one was getting fixed when we switched over to heat pump number two. Pump number two was making the loudest noise that we've ever heard in the building. So with that, we had to get the bearings replaced. So working with Mariners, we received a quote for $3,770 to have the bearing assembly replaced along with the seal kit and coupler. So.
How did this relate to the pileup on 230?
No, just saying that with the cold weather, sorry. No correlation other than weather was identifying that we needed to get the heat pumping through the building. So
Kale, what was the total?
$3,770.
This would be considered, waste.
Yes, we have one good pump that is active right now since we had that one fixed. And talking with Renee, we have one good one
I would call
at
it
this point in time.
It's maintenance.
Maintenance.
Yeah.
Same fund, City Hall
Yes.
maintenance.
And Mariners is the company that we utilize for all of our pump work here at City Hall. So
I'll make a motion then to have Mariners complete the bearing replacement for the failed water heater pump at the amount of $3,770 to come from the City Hall maintenance and repair fund.
I will second. Motion from Nancy and a second from Tim. Any further discussion? As you said, Gil, the things that are starting to fall apart with the age.
yeah.
And, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 I do have one more thing since I did mention those two items. The street department, fire department, and police department did a very good job for us that day when we had the surprise weather with response. I know Jeff was on vacation, but I thought Matt and some of the guys went out early and addressed some of the slick spots that we did have. And then obviously with fire and police and, trying to protect everybody there, I thought everybody did a very good job that morning. So.
Thank you, Gil. Commissioner.
I was concerned when Kale said the need to replace things that are aging. Then I said building, that's okay then. So, at the last meeting, we opened up quotes for our annual tree limb and yard waste grinding. Received two quotes. We had asked 5 different companies to bid or to quote, saying it wrong, and we received 2 of those. Anyhow, so at this time, we've gone through those, and we are recommending that we take the low bid from Smith Creek of Borden, Indiana, and the base quote amount of $36,361 with an additional pile. With the additional piles, which are growing as we speak, of $3.50 per cubic yard. If you run the numbers, I'm just going to guess here that it's not going to exceed 3,000 cubic yards on the additional pile. But if we get to 3,000, that would change that price to $46,861. And there is plenty of money in the account. We actually probably have another 10,000 over that, so to cover that in case it would get real extreme. But I'm assuming
Your intent is to go ahead and grind all of it, not just up to 3,000.
that's right. We're going to do it all. So if it goes over that, I'm going to be coming back to you. But I would like to go ahead and prove it up to 3,000 additional. Unfortunately, I won't know that until the contractor shows up as to what the volume is. So
that's not to exceed $46,861.
Right.
It's quite a difference in those 2 bids.
There is.
They're not taking this along with it.
They are
This is
not.
staying here.
This is staying here, yeah.
Which is, okay.
Right. 2 years ago, we had the same situation. So the material will stay with us. We will work on getting rid of it one of two ways. So 2 years ago, we had a local company that took it, paid us a little something for it. And so we'll reach out to them again and see if they're interested again. If not, we'll open it up to the public. So we'll see what happens. Okay. I'll report back on that as well.
Mayor, I'll make a motion then for the street department to accept the low bid for the grinding of trees and limbs for the resource recovery site from Smith Creek of Borden in the amount of $36,361 for the base coat, and then additional cubic yard at the cost of $3.50 per cubic yard.
Have a motion from Nancy. I'll second that. Any further discussion?
Is that work that'll be done next year or this year?
I'm not sure. As soon as we award this, we will contact them to see what their schedule is looking like. A lot of times we encumber this because they don't get it finished. I would guess even if he showed up next week, he probably isn't going to get it all finished before the end of the year. Not that it takes that long, but I don't know if he'll stick with it that whole time. So
It's a big pile.
yes, it is.
Jeff, you told me we do have a history with both companies.
We do. Yes, we do. So
Nancy, you want to add the not to exceed amount for $46,861.
I could do that. So not to exceed the amount that Renee just said.
yeah, 46,861.
I'll second. Are you second?
Yeah.
Good. All right. All in favor, so by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, we're seeking permission to, it's closed really right now anyhow, but I thought we'd formally do it at 20th Street in Country Club Estates is closed for waiting for paving in that last section. One of the things we discovered before this project started, we inspected the pipe and it was fine. It had a concrete cover over it and it would spread the weight out. Once that concrete was removed and repeated truckloads of material ran over that pipe, it's pretty shallow. It's only got about a foot of cover over it. We found that it couldn't take that weight and it destroyed it. So it's failing. We need to replace it. Anyhow, we originally thought that they might be paving this week, and but since then they've backed off, and so it'll give us a little more time. But Monday of next week, we plan to be in there and replace that pipe. After that, we're gonna encase this in concrete just to make sure that because it's so shallow, we don't want the trucks from the paver to do the same thing. So we're gonna try to put something really solid around it and give it a little more strength. So, but that would be, again, weather permitting, but we would anticipate that it would be closed on Monday.
Make a motion to allow the street department to close 20th Street between Emily and 19th for a storm sewer replacement on Monday, December 1st, weather permitting.
Motion from Tim,
I'll second that.
a second from Nancy. Any further discussion? All in favor, so by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, and the last item on the list is Brad Pope had asked to periodically close the alley. This is the alley between 15th and 14th Street and Newton Street and Park Street. This alley is used as a driveway for many residents along Newton Street. And there's a wall that is in need of repair. And so he is going to tear that wall out. And then another contractor is coming in to replace it, put it up, new one up. So I'm not sure when that contractor is going to do that. I haven't been in touch with them. Brad didn't tell me who it is. So, but anyhow, he wanted permission to periodically close it while he does his work. And he said that he will work with the residents. If somebody comes up while they're doing it, they'll pull their equipment to the side or out of the alley until they get through. So, all right.
Will they give notification ahead of time that this is going to take place?
I would, yeah, I'm not sure. I can talk to him about that. Okay, at least the ones that are going to be right there.
Right.
So, all right.
I'll make a motion. We allow Brad Pope to close the alley between 15th and 14th streets and do Park streets after Thanksgiving to excavate the wall and repair it. Right.
I'll second that motion.
Second from Nancy. Any further discussion? All in favor, saying aye.
Aye. Thank you. That's all I have today.
Mayor, I did want to thank the street department for providing that greenery for the planters in the downtown area.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas, and Matt was ever cordial to bring more when we needed
Right.
more.
Yeah, that was his idea. He said, he seen that you needed some more. He said, well, we should have some down there. So that's great that it worked out.
It
So.
worked out great, and then he took away what we didn't need. That
Right.
was even better.
Yeah.
And then I did want to, I think all been contacted by the Jasper RC Flyers, and they use the old landfill out there, and they were just very, he just wanted to thank the city of Jasper for continuing to let them use that landfill site for their flying field. If you've never been out there when they've had an event, it is like the neatest thing in the world. They have all these airplanes flying around, but they also, for this year, they've been involved in STEM and youth engagement. They've had community events, open house a couple times. They hosted the Civil Air Patrol Squadron from the Huntingburg Airport. They donated $500 to the Lange Foos Cancer Center. And just really, they said 2 of their former youth members have gone on to aviation careers. So going from flying a remote, and these aren't just like your little remote control planes. These are huge, big planes. People trailer them in. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that they're very grateful for the city's support and proud to represent Jasper in such a positive way. I look forward to that partnership in the future.
I agree that is that's news. That's a story I didn't know anything about. I'm glad you all shared that with us, and that was it's a feel good story. That's for sure. There's a lot of good things come out of that out there. So yeah. So
we thank the RC Flyers for their contributions to the city and to the future of some of these young kids.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Nancy.
Josh, I was curious if you could fill us in on the comprehensive plan and where that stands at the current time.
Sure, happy to. So the current comprehensive plan is underway, as many of you know. A couple weeks ago, we had our, I always transpose the names. We had a think tank session on Friday and Saturday. Upcoming next Wednesday, we have a planning commission meeting in which multiple boards are invited, and as well as the general public, for a community vision, which will be kind of a recap up to date of what has been discussed. Some results of our survey, some results from the economic report that was completed by one of the contractors. And then on next Saturday, December 6th, from 9 to 12, is a Future Summit open house at the Parklands. That would be, you can find more information about that on the city's website and the project website. We would ask people to register for that because the Parklands is a limited capacity venue. So we just want to know how many people are coming, because I believe it seats about 150, 120, something around that. But that's the current stage. And then when we get into the new year, we will have some breakout task force called the Pillars groups, in which more community members will be invited to participate, basically to identify potential projects or items that we should be doing to align with the goals of the new comp plan.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
And the intent is that by next spring, summer, we would have a final product.
Yeah, the pencil date is June of next year, in which we would be looking to adopt. Of course, that could flow one way or the other.
Thank you. City Attorney.
I don't have anything to say, thank you.
I would like to request approval of the letter of agreement with Trex. This is the service that we use when a customer's state tax refund matches. We let them know that we will be taking some of their refund to pay an old utility bill or an outstanding parking ticket. There are letters that have to be sent out to these people to notify them the cost that Trex charges us to provide this letter is $3 a letter. And I don't think that we can do that for that cost. So the agreement is from December 1st, 2025 to October 2nd, 2026, which is kind of considered the tax period of when we might match with the tax refund. And this is for $3 per letter, and this is the same as it has been for the past couple of years.
Letters they actually send out.
A lot more for utilities than they do for parking tickets. You have to ask Ashley or Rob those numbers.
That be applied to people that aren't paying their bills for their yard, like the street department.
We have to get a, I think in those cases, we have to get a judgment first. Then we can collect on that judgment. We have done that.
The electric or the utility department have had some success with this.
Yes, it has been very successful with the utility department.
Thank you, Kirsten. Yep, I would make a motion that we approve the agreement with regard to Trex house. I think this is with the.
No,
This is
City of Jasper Trex.
Second.
Second from Tim. Any further discussion? All in favor, simply saying aye.
Aye.
So, I don't know, Chief, I think your request that you had sent out, or that Cal had sent out, also requested asking permission to hire a second contractor. I don't know if that actually got communicated yet.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Kirsten. Kale had sent me a text after I sat down and was like, hey, we need to make sure we get approval to, if we do get this position filled internally, that we also have permission to backfill the opening, the dispatch opening that would be there. So, so thank you for that reminder. And so I would ask the board if that promotion does come from within, which I'm certain it probably will, because I know we have people that are capable and wanting to step up into that role. That we do have the ability to backfill that telecommunications officer's position. Yeah, so we currently have a position that we are, Tim was asking if that's two positions. So kind of put this all in a nutshell. So we have a vacant position, a telecommunications position open right now that we have interviewed for. And then if we promote from within, that will open up another position in the telecommunications officers. So anyway, they're all budgeted for. Kirsten's crunched the numbers and that stuff is there. I'm just needing permission to backfill that position when it becomes vacant.
And hire a second. So you're gonna backfill for Daniel.
You're already in the
Right.
process of hiring
We're already in the
Daniel.
process. We've already got permission in the process for that. This would be backfilling that telecommunications supervisor's position. Yeah.
So this is one position.
Right.
I'll make a motion to allow the Jasper Police Department to hire a new telecommunicator. For a vacancy created by the promotion of the new chief telecommunicator.
I'll second that motion.
Motion from Tim and a second from Nancy. Any further discussion? Again, this was budgeted for, this was something that we had, Daniel's, when we're interviewing for one.
Right.
Multiple candidates.
The dispatch center has been operating at negative manpower for the majority of the year. So this would be getting them back up to full staff.
So that we're gonna be hiring two telecommunicators.
And then are you looking at hiring those full-time? Because for a while you were hiring part-time.
Yeah, those will be full-time positions. Our part-timers, we still have those, so they'll help fill in the blank spaces when you start with vacation time and do all the different things, trainings and sicknesses and everything that goes along with it. They are an integral part of filling those seats, when those things do occur.
So I have a motion from Tim, second from Nancy. All in favor, simply saying aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That's all.
All right, I've got one thing just to let the public know that the city will be closing offices on December 3rd. It's a Wednesday, from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. It's going to be closed, public, because we'll be holding our luncheon for appreciation of our employees. And so other than emergency services, all areas will be closed. So this is Wednesday, December the 3rd, from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. That's all.
Mayor, I wanted to mention a huge thank you to the electric department and the street department, probably the park department, whatever you had to do with it, Crump Lumber for their help in moving Santa's house and putting up the very large community Christmas tree. All of that happened yesterday. Now we just have to kind of get all the tweaks worked out so Santa Claus can come to town on Friday and also get the tree lit. And also thank to Ivan and Brenda Clark for donating their tree. It is a beautiful large tree this year. Yeah, so all of the departments are so very helpful. Those particular ones work very hard on these projects and putting up the wreaths.
I've gotten a lot of compliments about how the city looks right now. So,
And the lights, the tar, Jasper.
excuse me.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, going to business, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to close.
I have a
I'll
motion
second
from
that
Tim,
motion.
second from Nancy, all in favor, simply saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
And then I-
Thanks, Kevin.